Hello everybody and welcome back for more Let's Play Banjo-Tooie. In today's episode, we're going to go ahead and enter the actual Mayahem Temple. I mean, that's probably what it's supposed to be. This here is Targitzan's temple, and could this finally be the time we get to meet Targitzan for once? And this is actually where the Regal Blaster comes into play, and what it looks like here.
Good. I see you have mastered the art of bird handling. I now challenge you to collect the sacred statues and find your prize.
Thank you for the mission here, this mysterious, godly voice. Anyway, so now we're inside of Targitzan's temple, and so yeah, like I said, this is where the Regal Blaster comes into play. As you can see here, we go into first-person shooter mode. Yes, this is Banjo's take on these FPS kind of play styles here. Very much replicating stuff like Perfect Dark or you know, as it's very well known, Call of Duty. So what we have to do here is that by using Kazooie as a gun here in FPS mode, press Z to shoot the eggs out, and then and of course you can actually press and hold R to get the reticle to appear, and then you just aim that way. And then you can actually press the C buttons to do some strafing here. So like, or basically do some sidestepping with that. And if you press up or down on the C buttons as well, then Kazooie will look up and down respectively. So that's basically how the whole thing works. That was just all the controls that there was when you're in the FPS mode. And so yeah, basically what it is that if you're in those areas, because you know there's only certain areas they can do for the Regal Blaster mode, and all these mazes here, well, they're basically all like they're all labyrinths is what it is. So like this one for instance, it's all like, you know, just going through the labyrinths of the FPS modes. It's kind of like you know, those standard other first-person shooter games. And you want to be careful of this sweat spot over there because, like, well, I guess what I could have done is just backed up a bit and then just aim at the weak point that way. Because there's a bunch of the statues here. Basically, what the whole objective is that we're gonna want to collect all the statues to find the prizes, which, of course, obviously would be the Jiggy. And there are two rooms that contains each of those two Jiggies for each one of those rooms. So we're gonna want to collect the first 10 of the statues for the first room, and then the second room will need 20 statues. And they're basically scattered all over the place. They come in groups, and then in certain rooms they they come in their own kind of stationed areas. I see a little bit of an organized fashion, but yeah, it's basically what you want to do. Just go around the whole labyrinth of this temple, and then look for those statues. And it's basically all there is. As long as you know where those statues are, then you know it shouldn't be shouldn't be too bad though. And it's kind of maze-like though, but this one can be pretty easy to remember if you know which rooms there are. I know there are going to be a couple later mazes here.
Not bad, mortal. 10 statues gained you entry to my slightly sacred chamber.
Your slightly sacred chamber. Oh, maybe you must be Targitzan, am I right? I guess we're finally gonna meet. We're gonna meet for once, huh? But anyway, so yeah, we got the 10 statues, and so we can actually be able to get into the slightly sacred chamber. Sorry, I'm kind of speaking too fast here. So yeah, like I said, the next, oh, you fucker. Yeah, you wanna take a look around because there's gonna be a lot of those Moggies everywhere. They'll try to attack you. But yeah, the next time we actually go into those FPS modes, there's gonna be a couple more of those labyrinths that will probably be a little more challenging, and you could get lost pretty easily though. But this one isn't too bad though. So it's actually it's pretty easy to remember where the rooms are, at least to me anyway. So that's basically all there is. One thing that's kind of disappointing though is that there's not going to be as many of those FPS shooters because like it is such an interesting concept though. Like, well, especially those of you who are big fans of those FPS shooters, like you know, Call of Duty for instance, or you know, or these well, you know, since I think around the time was like I think it was like sometime after Rare had already developed Perfect Dark by the time, but. You know, it tells you a lot of the who are very much big Call of Duty aficionados, and you know this whole thing is like, you know, Banjo's take. It's kind of a kid-friendly version of these FPS shooters. Oh, by the way, folks, so you see over there, these are the nests of the golden eggs. First, we're gonna get rid of the snapdragon right here, and pick this up. Look at that here. So you're under a time limit here, but if you press and hold the Z button, look at that. Kazooie will actually go ballistic on those eggs, and you can actually And they're infinite ammo, so that's really cool. Or one thing that's really cool about them, you just have an infinite ammo. I really love it like that. But anyway, so back to what I was saying though. So like, And I know it's kind of weird though, since you know, I mean, I played a couple of Call of Duty games. Like I actually did have a copy of Call of Duty 3 for the PS3, and you know, I enjoyed my time with it though. And I haven't really touched upon the others. Like I know I actually sampled a bit. I think I played a bit of Modern Warfare, which I played on my neighbor's Xbox 360, and I think I might have sampled Black Ops at one point or another. I think so. I think that's probably what I did though. But yeah, to those of you who are real big Call of Duty aficionados or any other FPS shooters, and you know this whole thing, you know, with Banjo's take on it, it's kind of an interesting concept and all that, you know, with having to do that here, just a nice little gameplay shift here, what it has, and you know, something I kind of wish that was touched upon a little more in this game, but not by much of it though, which is honestly a little bit disappointing. I kind of wander around a bit here, but at the same time, I was also looking for where that Jinjo was, because he's actually somewhere in. Well, that's where he is right there. So now we got 3 blue Jinjos. So so yeah, it's a pretty neat concept. I really like it all that, but I kind of wish they did a little more, because they don't really use it all or touch upon it that much though. So there's where the last 2 statues are. So now we're gonna go over this way, and that's where the slightly sacred chamber is, and there it is. There's our Jiggy. Also, I never got to mention this at all. So we actually saw in that one cutscene where, you know, Gruntilda no longer rhymes now, because she had to be under the condition that the sisters wanted to cut off her rhyming habits, and I actually kind of missed that though. But she's still funny either way.
Most impressive, mortal. 20 statues gains you entry to my really sacred chamber.
Okay, cool. So let's go and enter here. Yeah, I miss Grunty's rhyming though, but you know, I mean, she's still pretty funny though with her snarky lines. So anyway, Targitzan's really sacred chamber and a cutscene. I don't know what happened. Look, Banjo, there's another Jiggy. This is just too easy. Yep, we'll have the game finished in no time. Oh, door closed. That's not a good sign. Whoa! Oh wait, could you be?
Halt, mortal. Thought you'd get another Jiggy that easily, eh?
Oh, Targitzan, despotic dizzy totem god. Oh, we finally made it last.
I am Targitzan, mighty Mayan god of target shooting. Prepare to meet thy dart-ridden doom.
Alright, folks, so this is Targitzan, and this is our very first instance of the boss of this level. So look at that, Banjo-Tooie actually has bosses. I mean, granted, Banjo-Kazooie did have bosses, but they're more like mini bosses compared to here.
Oh, I can't feel my legs anymore. Get him, you worthless moggies.
Alright, so the thing with Targitzan is that, so you saw those targets right here on each of his parts. All we have to do is to shoot the targets right here for, to actually, to bring down his HP that you see right here, because it actually shows the counter right here. That's actually his HP. And so, if you shoot each of those targets, then it'll go down, and then you have to shoot all 4 of those targets, and then one segment of targets then will go down. And each time you do so, then he'll summon the Moggies to try to come after you. So you're gonna want to go ahead and kill the Moggies first. Now, the more his segments go down, the harder it actually gets, though, because his segments will actually try to shoot darts at you. His only kind of method of attack, and so you want to make sure to avoid them. One strategy you can do though is that if you actually sidestep with the C buttons, then you can actually be able to easily avoid those darts, and then try to shoot the targets at the same time. So that's basically all there is. So you know, just lather, rinse, repeat, and then you should be just fine. And then there we go. So that's all the segments down. Now that means Targitzan has lost all of his HP, and so that means it should be done. So let's go ahead and kill the rest of those Moggies here. But yes, so that's one great thing that Banjo-Tooie finally added. So, you know, because like I said, Banjo-Kazooie actually had the mini bosses, what it feels more like. But hang on one second though.
No, you've beaten me. Now suffer as I invoke my sacred self-destruct.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and hide behind these slabs right here, and then stay over there you can actually avoid, because he'll shoot the darts in all the directions here, so just go behind here, and there we go. And so, yeah, now that we beat him, now we got the Jiggy right here, so, yeah, like I said, so Banjo-Kazooie basically only had those, well, it feels like mini bosses, but Banjo-Tooie, it has actual bosses, though, because, you know, it really does feel like you're having a boss fight. And so there's always going to be one in each world, so, and each time you defeat a boss, then you get rewarded with a Jiggy. Because, you know, and one great thing about these bosses, though, is that, like, you know, the reason it feels like those bosses is because they get presented that way, and also the music as well, because they're basically like boss remixes, or they're more tense and dramatic remixes of the game's main world theme. Or, I mean, not the game. I mean the level theme is what it is, which is actually real epic though. And you know, mad props to Grant Kirkhope. Grant Kirkhope is such a legend. He's so amazing with his tracks. You know, because I've always loved the Banjo-Kazooie soundtracks and all that though. And you know, he's such an amazing composer and also a cool guy too. So you know, if you ever get to meet him, you'll see how absolutely cool he is. But you know, but Grant Kirkhope, like you know, he actually for this game he really goes above and beyond with the soundtracks. You know, where he takes the main theme of a world, and then when you go to certain areas, then he actually does a variation to make it more atmospheric. And so he's really amazing what it does. So we're checking our game totals right here from Mayahem Temple. So we got all the other collectibles except for one Jiggy, but that Jiggy we can't really get right now until we get access to a certain move. So but yeah, he really makes the tracks more atmospheric, and so he actually uses that for the bosses to give them more intense remakes. He actually did the same for Donkey Kong 64 with that game's bosses, but you know, they're such great tracks, and so you know, again, mad props to Grant Kirkhope. You're a legend, I would say. So. But yeah, so it's actually kind of an organized manner that I'll be doing, like, for each of the worlds, where, like, I'll, do one world the first few Jiggies, and the other, well, one video first few Jiggies, the other world next few Jiggies, and then, I always say the bosses for last, so that'll be its own video, so. Anyway, so we're pretty much done with Mayahem Temple for now, so we'll be back to it for that one Jiggy, but we're done with it for now, so. Next time on Let's Play Banjo-Tooie, we're going to be doing some backtracking here before we get to our next world, and so we'll see exactly what we're going to be taking here, so I will see you guys next time.